Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Strategic Feminine here on YouTube. And of course, we like to focus on all things feminine, all things girly, all things womanly in essence. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the rest of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and do a continuation of Total Package Privilege, featuring Alandrea from Love Island. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and use Alandrea as a representation of the total package privilege babe, especially of the unambiguous black variety, and why she will continue to catch strays throughout her career, even though she's serving in every single avenue. I mean, every goalpost she hits it, every, target she meets it, and then still you have some people having a hard time giving Alandrea her props, but we know why. I'm just going to go ahead and explain it in immense detail. So, of course, if you're new to this channel, do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the rest, right? So me, I really didn't watch too much Love Island. I'm really not into reality TV show at this season of my life. I might go back into it, but I really like the oldies, but I'm really not into new reality TV. But catching a little bit of just the premise, right? These hot teens all in bathing suits, barely naked, you know, looking and doing these challenges as typical romantic show fashion to start drama, ratings, looks, betrayal. It's the whole thing. It's honestly an internet sensation. And it literally took over the internet for a time. Now, at one point, everybody was grabbing onto their favorite characters for dear life and defending them with their life and choosing which one was going to go ahead and withstand the test of Love Island. And really, a lot of this stuff happens often with reality TV shows. This is not anyone's first rodeo. We know how reality TV shows, especially of the love variety, kind of get down. So of course there was nothing but backdooring, backstabbing, sabotaging, and a whole bunch of messy, weird stuff in the middle of the kerfuffle that is this TV show. So again, taking it as someone who hasn't really observed the show but is observing Alondria's moves prior to, during, and then after the show, I'm explaining to you guys why Alondria represents the total package privilege babe that I'm telling y'all about, and why I want you guys to identify more with her than maybe some other creatives or creators or influencers that maybe have come up in the chocolate, sector. Okay? Okay. So first thing is Alandria is self-assured. She's very composed, and I like that about her personally. I think that in every time that she's spoken, it's very precise. She sticks to the script, and then she knows when to say less. And I think that that was important. And another thing is that I like about Alandria, she knows when to turn it up a notch. Like she doesn't, even though she can, be soft and sweet and then hold back. I liked how even within the reunion, she was like, "I really not effing with you." And she kind of said it so plainly that goes kind of against what everybody had been talking about. So you'll see that a lot of people who were, commentating on Alandria, a lot of what these women were saying was that they couldn't relate to her. They couldn't, get into her. Why? Because she wasn't acting a fool on nobody's television screen. Okay. And what they were saying was she was very image conscious, which is rich coming from, we've had like thousands, thousands of women crash out over a reality TV show and never get paid a dollar for it. And y'all don't remember any of their names, but it's so crazy because you need Alandria to go ahead and crash out and not be image conscious in order for you to attach, you know, yourself to her personal brand and character. And I like that she didn't do that. I think that this is where I kind of talk about a lot of people, we call it code switching, where black people, you can use your AAVE, like, you can use your slang, and then you know when to get a professional and, gather it. And I think that that's an important trait that Alondria kind of showcases, is that she's kind of understanding when you can and can't code switch, what to say, when not to say it, when to hold back. And I think that that really does add to the mystique of her overall character. I mean, thus far, knowing when to say least is super important. And I think that the best way to go ahead and compare this, not saying that I watched the show, so I'm not a part of any stand, I don't know, but seeing how other castmates, we'll put it that way, have went on and gave up all their chips and, ran on podcasts and told all their business and all of that. Seeing how that makes your fire die out a whole lot sooner. Alandria was able to basically keep her mystique, which is keeping her gravy train rolling a little bit longer than the rest of the castmates who maybe were on the show with her on her particular season. Another reason why Alandria is the overall total package. I mean the body, girl. We gotta talk about the body, baby. She went ahead and posted that picture, broke the internet down. She was holding girl, her waist was smaller than my waist. I'm not gonna even lie, maybe, girl, lady, baby. She was holding the glasses in between her waist. Absolute total gag. Okay, the body. And I want to explain this for the people in the back because I talk a little bit about my channel and YouTube be hating on my skinny series. So I don't do it as much anymore. But my petite series kind of showcases a lot of the petite privilege that you get in these scenarios. And Alondra being the perfect case study, her body it serves as this perfect vessel for brands. Her face, gorgeous, but we're gonna talk about that later. Specifically, honing in for the body, perfect for modeling. Perfect for high fashion, high upscale modeling. She has the petite, pretty Barbie build. And that's very important because, a lot of people, they try to make, they try to basically make comparisons and say that you can be TT and, as long as the face just clears. And I hate to put people in the back, in their place. And, that's not really my place to go ahead and put you all the way in your place. But what I will say is that Alandria and her mystique and her body showcases how far, actually being fit can take you in a mainstream level. I'm not just talking about, maybe niches. On a mainstream, most people can look at Alandria and, relate to that body type, relate to or aspire for this body type, even if they can't relate to it. Me personally, it's more of a relate. I can relate to Alandria being beautiful, skin tea. Okay. But I also think that another part of this is some people may be aspirationally looking up to Alandria. Like, yeah, I want to get my waist tea like that one day. I want to get my body nice like that one day. And that's also another additive to, the overall influencer culture and then her own power as an influencer and as a brand, right? Because that's exactly what we're talking about with chocolate privilege, petite privilege, and all the other privileges that I speak about on my channel.
And I hope this doesn't make me sound corny, but Alondria's body type literally makes me feel so seen and so visible. I've never seen skinny, skinty black girl, still slim thick, with big, big, humongous, milkers, right?
Okay, the third reason why Alandria is a total package is because she knows how to dress. Okay, now this is an undefeated skill. Nobody's talking about this on the YouTube streets. You gotta know how to dress. You gotta know how to put that ish on, because you understand me this. If you got a homegirl, a friend, a stylist, if you're getting up there and you got brands and you got hostings and shows to attend to, and award nominees and stuff, depending on how hard you're leveling up, right? Having that resource is definitely important, but just knowing how to dress plainly.
And in case you don't believe me, Big Lex is another girl from a reality TV show. It's Baddies. And she has been all over Facebook because people have been talking about that. Big Lex can't dress. And it's not that so much she cannot dress. She doesn't have like a style. Like she can put on regular clothes, but as far as styling and designing, that's not her strong suit. It's not expected to be. But that's why it's a privilege. That's why you do get, special treatment or favoritism when you do put that ish on. And then how well do you put that ish on? That's why I be trying to tell y'all, stop shopping from, really cheap fashion hauls and stuff, because honestly, those clothes are so cheap looking. They're made from cheap materials, and very few people have those skills to really put it on. And it's way easier to buy high quality pieces and then have someone style you, or you just, wear typical regular sets, So knowing how to dress is an underrated skill. I 100% believe that.
It's really good too because you look good, you're bad, blah blah blah. Let's go back to the body privilege because see, knowing how to dress and then body privilege go hand in hand. You can have the knowing how to dress privilege without the body privilege, but when you couple these together, it's an all-out knockout drag out, right? A lot of what Alandria's popularity came to, especially during the pilots and then just the original show with the Love Island cast, is that you were seeing a lot of Alandria's looks, and people were comparing it, finding the different stores she bought it from. People were acting like oh, here's the boutique you could buy this from, and saying that it was Alandria's clothes, and it wasn't. It was just their boutique, but it's that dressing mystique. She's the perfect model to be able to show, brands off, shoes off, and accessories. And that also gives you another privilege because not only do you have the fans rooting for you, you have an audience who aspires to have your level of quote unquote privilege. You also now have brands being able to leverage this privilege to make you and them some money. So then this is where we get into actual brand building marketing. And I don't know, am I actually going to keep this up on my main page? I don't know. This might go on my membership because we talking too deep. But I just wanted to show, why the hate train will forever be on Alandria because she's going against every reality TV show archetype of every, like, every single black woman archetype. She's going against every last one of them currently in today's day. And I think that's pretty great. The next thing that makes her a total package privilege babe, okay, being at the right place at the right time with the right outfit really does do you in some justice. And I think that does need to be talked about a little bit more. The thing about Alandria that really took her like away from, outside of the cast of all her other castmates is because we were seeing her in like places that you wouldn't expect to see a reality TV star. Why are you at New York Fashion Week? Why are you out here in Paris and Milan, at these walks, these catwalks and stuff? Like we were seeing her in very high profile places, and we were surprised, thoroughly surprised. But not only did she come, she served. Right, she served at all of these events. She served at all of these many different bookings that also added to her overall power as a celebrity, as a brand, but is also aiding to her mystique and her hate train as well. You see, some people, they just cannot take, Alandria, but it's because she didn't hyper fixate on the platform that Love Island was going to give her. She just used Love Island's platform in order to get into mainstream visibility. And then the good thing about Alandria, because a lot of people, this is the thing, and this is the thing about brand building that people need to understand. You can catapult yourself into mainstream visibility at any time, but are you going to be able to hold up to the plate? Are you going to be accepted by the visual gaze? Not always guaranteed. And at that point, if you can't hold up to the bat, you get out the kitchen. You People know how it goes. So with Alandria not only being beautiful, pretty, tea, but keeping herself poised and together at all parts of the show, it showed to me that she was definitely a lot very and calculated in a good way, right? Using a lot of good imaging, good publicity optics in order to get this quote unquote level up effect that people could only dream of at that particular point. This is the total package privilege that I like to talk about on my channel and how it looks in the chocolate variety. Having multiple privileges that you go ahead and couple onto each other. That way you're the full and total deal. Okay, you don't have to pick and choose. You go ahead and do it all. She's pretty in the face, gorgeous. No one can deny that face. Okay? And not only can no one deny the face, she also has a nice body to match. And the dark skin is just like the accessory. And it's like beautiful like silk, right? Also take Alandria's skin tone and texture. She takes very good care of her skin. It looks like it has great buoyancy. And another thing that I wanted to mention, because this is what really makes her a total package privilege baby, okay? She knows how to walk in heels. I don't know who I need to tell this. Baby, you got to learn how to walk in some real heels and really soon, like comfortably and look good and graceful. This is a part of that level up. These are that part of those feminine etiquette skills that you're going to have to go ahead and grab. And Alondria is showing how knowing and how to effortlessly pose, take pictures, walk, and just be mobile in heels and this nice, beautiful attire really does up your social capital overall. Personally, to me, I think heels make every outfit 100 times look nicer. It just is what it is. So, being able to effortlessly glide and glade in these beautiful heels or these beautiful accessories definitely aids to your feminine privilege, which is going to help you take over. And that's exactly what Alondria was able to do. She looked beautiful. She has the etiquette. She's clearly been training for a while to be able to do this, and she just executed in a way that had only really been talked about up until this point with Alandria. And that's why the girls are mad. That's why, a lot of people will continue to throw strays at Alandria, regardless of what her situation is, regardless of how many accolades she grabs, no matter how beautiful she is, no matter how many times she outdoes even other people in their own criteria as far as attractiveness and stuff, no matter how much people are going to have a hard time giving her props because, again, she's the first woman I remember for a reality TV show to make it really mainstream and not have to rely on any negative archetypes as a black woman to do it. So that also, that kind of relates to the fast archetype, the fighting or the cussing, the uncouth. She didn't play into any of those things, and I think that was also aiding into her mystique as well because you had a lot of people speaking about, oh, well, is it faking? She's just too image conscious. Like I said again, reason being is because they want to be able to crack into her internal. They want to be able to be in her game room. They want to be able to be in her mind. And Alandrea having that cool, calm demeanor and always saying just enough and not too much keeps the people, the undesirables, from being able to crack into her head. And being that private does come with some good things when you're wanting to create a mainstream, hitter brand.
What led you to go on Love Island?
It's so funny because Love Island's been reaching out to me for the past, 2 or 3 years. It started in 2023, 2024. 2023, I was like, oh, I don't know that. Like, I didn't know what the show was. I'm like, I was so career focused at the time, so scared to mess up and so career driven. I was like, I don't want to risk going on this show and mess up everything because I know it can either go really good or really bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I don't know yet. Never seen it, so I was like, I can't say yes to something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
2024, I was in Thailand. They asked me to fly out. And I'm just like, I'm celebrating my birthday, so I'm gonna just go this way. So I was like, you know what, God, if it's meant for me to really do this, put this back in my schedule in 2025, and I'll see what I can do. You know what I mean? So they reached out to me in February and again in April. So I'm like, okay, twice in 1 year, cool. Let me just see what this is talking about. Third time's a charm. And thank God I did because it's like my life has changed for the actual better. So I'm like, thank goodness I decided to do it.
And I think that if you're looking like if you're a chocolate girly, you trying to be on your 10 like status, you want to know what like the inspiration is. There's plenty of girls doing it. I ran across one other girl, Jessica Alford, on TikTok. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. Love her aesthetic down. She's giving very classy. She's giving very Barbie. I love this for her. And I think that a lot of these women, they created brands, despiting, all of these different caricatures of what blackness is supposed to be, actually representing the beauty of unambiguous dark skinned black girls and doing it so strategically that even the haters are mad that they can't clock their tea. Um, well, they're trying, but not good enough. Of course, I always tell y'all to be good people, to be holy people, to choose your character, read the word and spread the word. And of course, I'll be back in my next video. Bye.